what else is going to be in there. I hear there's a Goblin deck near the top.
Yeah, we know there's at least a Belcher and a Goblin. We also know there's a Reanimator deck making the top 8 as well. So those are 3 decks. The rest are going to be figured out as we do go here. But you've got Gerhart on the left. Again, his brother Ryan did top 8 the Standard Open yesterday with green-white. He's playing against Tran, a local Legacy player, always doing well in Legacy tournaments in the area, playing Painted Stone. So, can he beat the Blood Moons and friends? We're going to find out.
Tran, one of the people that I believe lost to the Charbelcher deck earlier.
Yep.
Yeah, that's correct.
And a terrible, terrible matchup for Tran against Belcher, so not a huge surprise there. You take a look at Tran's deck list here, it's a little bit different. See, this is Painted Stone, not Imperial Painter. There is a difference there as he's taking a mulligan down to, it looks like 5 cards, so that's not so good. But Blood Moon is kind of the fear, but if you look at the deck list there, Adrian, Blood Moon is in the sideboard, and there's actually none main deck, so Gerhart, not playing against a traditional Painter Servant deck, Thoughtseize is certainly a good start.
Especially after a trip or after a double mulligan.
Yeah.
And look at that, you've got one part of the combo over there. There's the Servant. You see a Sensei's Divining Top. And is that?
That's a promo Ancient Tomb.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And one of the things, though, Goblin Welder is actually quite good against discard.
Yeah, that's the thing. He only has the option between 2 artifacts, so he takes the top, and that means that the Painter Servant can come into play here off of this Ancient Tomb. Yes, it'll knock down Nam a little bit of life, but totally worth it. And if Kevin does try to kill the Servant, all right, just weld it out. Are we gonna attack? This could be risky. Ooh.
In for Uno. He does like to attack more than anyone I've ever seen with a Goblin Welder.
All right. Looks like we're going to start our turn off with a Brainstorm, perhaps, as everything is, of course, blue right now. There's your Fetch Land, Verdant Catacombs, there's your Brainstorm. So hit 1, hit 2, Misty Rainforest, Thoughtseize, and hit 3, which is a Wasteland.
Lots of cards in Kevin Gerhart's hand. And the other thing about this deck is built to get advantage upon advantage. Shardless Agent can cascade into any number of things, but if it really hits the jackpot, it can cascade into Visions, Ancestral Visions.
So Gerhart's going to have to put 2 cards back here. He does have a Fetch Land to make it a perfect Brainstorm. So you see he's going to sacrifice that Verdant Catacombs and go searching. Going to play a Bayou. Is it going to be a Thoughtseize? It is. Did he draw anything new there? He drew an island. All right, coast is theoretically clear right now.
One of the things that Tran can do if he starts needing to get card advantage is he can start using the Welder to get the Sensei's Divining Top. There's a little trick. Sensei's Divining Top, putting the card on top of your library, that is the effect, not the cost. So you can put that effect to get the card draw and then swap it with the Welder and kind of get a free card. It's slow, but it is a way to get some card advantage if you think that's what you need to do.
Coming across for 2 is Tran. He drew a red Elemental Blast for the turn, so that is going to be basically a counterspell. Wasteland says, get that Ancient Tomb out of here. How about a Hymnotorak? I know that you have a counterspell, I don't care. And Nam says,
let's kill something.
Am I gonna? I guess I'm gonna blow up something. I guess I'm blow up a land. They are blue after all. Yeah.
Boom.
So get your Bayou out of here. Follow up land? No. I guess we did Wasteland. It's already played land for the turn. Down to 1 mana. Tran gonna come in yet again with Welder and Painter Servant. You said he likes to attack with those.
I have to say, I've never seen it happen so much, but he did it in another match as well.
Abrupt Decay here at the ready for Gerhart. Again, gonna have to target the Welder first before targeting the Servant, I believe.
Wow. Waited.
You gotta go after, you gotta go after that one.
There we go. Let's see, do we like the Servant or do we like a top? Let's ask that question of ourselves. What's better, a combo piece and a beater against that 10 life?
Yeah, I mean you have to go after Welder first. By killing the Servant doesn't actually do anything. He just welds it out for the top and then he can weld the top out for the Servant. So you actually have to kill the Welder first. And of course, because Abrupt Decay is uncounterable, Nam can't really do much. He might weld here to actually get the top, but doesn't want to.
He decides he wants to keep his Servant. Brainstorm in hand, in for another attack. Look at that. What's he got in hand? Brainstorm and
another Painter Servant.
Oh, look at that. Doubling the clock.
Yeah. Gerhart needs to get some defense in play.
There is one Maelstrom Pulse in Kevin Gerhart's deck list, That would be an incredible blowout if he just happened to naturally have it at this point.
Yeah, I wonder what 3 mana spell he's going to be casting here, because he has sacrificed the fetch land here before casting a spell in his main phase. So it looks like we're going to have 3 mana spell, likely to be Shardless Agent, but if it is Pulse, boy, is it good.
Liliana's not terrible. Liliana can empty out the card in Namtran's hand and have a healthy loyalty afterwards.
Yeah, it would go from 3, discard puts it up to 4. Gerhart would have to discard a card too, but then it would be threatening to start taking care of those Painter Servants, which are, oddly enough, being kind of problematic right now. And we're going to go with Abrupt Decay to take care of that, and suspend Ancestral Visions before passing the turn back.
Okay. The clock now 8 turns.
Yeah.
In for 1.
Intuition is a card that's in Nam's hand. That's what he just drew. He's going to pass the turn back here. Down goes Visions to 3 counters. Draw a card for Gerhart. He's going to play Liliana of the Veil.
Oof, ouch.
Are we going to see a Brainstorm in response?
Brainstorm and Intuition in hand. If he were to Brainstorm, he would probably be trying to find a Force of Will. He does have 4 in his deck, but ouch, that hurts his already taxed card situation.
Yeah, I mean, blasts are good right now, too. Red Blast or Pyroblast, so that's certainly going to be good in this situation, but how much does he want to protect the Painter Servant? I think just brainstorming here for information is a good start. You see City of Traders, Volcanic Island, and a Force of Will, so he does find a Force of Will, but he'd have to, I mean, he'd have to empty his hand to do this.
Yeah.
He'd have to put the 2 lands back on top of his deck, and then use Force of Will, removing Intuition. Is it that important to protect this Painter Servant?
We'll find out what Namtran thinks.
More importantly, too, one thing we haven't even considered yet, Adrian, is that depending on how Nam puts these cards back, Kevin could very easily just go up for the Liliana. And one thing I actually forgot is that because Painter Servant makes everything blue, he actually doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be forceful removing Intuition. It can be forceful removing a land.
Oh wow!
That's the other
I forgot
thing, yeah.
all about that. That's actually really awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for that reminder.
Yeah.
One of the things, sometimes those interactions that happen so infrequently,
Yeah.
you don't necessarily think about the full ramifications of that. Kevin Gerhart, I think, moving that die around, trying to maybe push Namtran into making a decision.
And so he's going to go Force of Will, remove City of Traders. City of Traders being blue because of the Painter Servant, so away goes Liliana of the Veil. And now the way that Nam set his deck, as Creeping Tar Pit's going to come into play, is that he left the land on top. That's Volcanic Island. See if he's going to play it or not. He's going to start by attacking here. And he's going to pass the turn back. So if Kevin draws Liliana, it's actually really, really good here.
A Liliana or a Hymn to Torak?
Yeah, also good. And he's tapping mana. Tarmogoyf is okay. It's not great. We'll get the Tarmogoyf die out there for you guys. Here's the land that's going to come into play, Volcanic. We know Nam has Intuition in his hand.
Now he can go at the end of the turn Intuition for Grindstones, and should he draw an extra mana source, that would be the game. Assuming that nothing untoward happens from Kevin Gerhart. And Kevin, is Kevin empty-handed right now?
Yeah, Kevin's empty-handed with the Vision sticking down. It's going to go down to 1. So he really, really needs to find something right now. And it looks like that Tarmogoyf is a 6/7. So he needs to find a card like an Abrupt Decay. Abrupt Decay is huge right now. Jace the Mind Sculptor would be pretty good. Let's see what he draws for the turn. He's going to start by attacking with Tarmogoyf for 6.
Smash.
Follow up, another Tarmogoyf.
Okay, wow. This game, Intuition, Grindstone, Grindstone, Grindstone seems like the most likely to me. But remember, Namtran double mulliganed and has cast a Force of Will this game. He's down so many cards, and yet he's still in it. However, next turn, things are going to get very hairy for him.
See him pull up a Tormod script. That's kind of interesting here. I think he's going to go triple Grindstone, hope to draw a land. Or a Lion's Eye Diamond. Just hope to draw a mana source to be able to kill Kevin. Is what I think is going to happen here. Assuming that he has 3 in his deck. Okay, there's a third one.
There we go. I mean, he's got to ask himself, does he feel lucky?
Yeah. I mean, if he draws a mana source, he wins. And if he bricks, I think he just dies because then 2 Tarmogoyfs are coming after him.
There we go. I mean, the way I look at this, you can't win playing fair in this situation.
Yeah. I mean, you just have to go for it.
And he's going to shuffle this up, give it to Kevin for the...
Give it a good long shuffle here. If you're going to play for top 8, this is a great start to a match where these players are playing for top 8 here. a lot on the line in game number 1. Again, Tran mulliganing to 5, as you did mention, and casting a Force Will, so a lot of card disadvantage, but able to make a game out of it and potentially win it here if he draws a Mana Source off the top.
Kevin Gerhart giving it a good shuffle. This is actually those moments, I know that when I'm shuffling, all I'm doing is creating a random thing, but when I'm in the situation Kevin is in, I just hate it. I feel like it's my fault.
What is Tran? That's it.
And he knows it's over. Yeah, you got it.
Yep.
You got it.
Show me a land. There's an island. Any land will do.
He's like, I'll get this one.
Yeah, and there it is. So that is going to be game number 1.
Oh, wow.
Goes to Tran, drawing a Mana Source to activate that Grindstone. Up 1 for the Painted Stone. Gerhart almost got out of that one alive, but he couldn't quite make it. Let's go to the sideboard here. We're going to start on Kevin Gerhart's side. Playing against a Painter Stone deck, so he knows that Blood Moon is looming somewhere. So he's going to probably have to sideboard some cards to counteract that. He's got 2 copies of Pernicious Deed, which are pretty good in this matchup. 2 copies of Nile Spellbomb, I don't really think are going to be very good here. 2 copies of Duress, I love. 4 copies of Force of Will, I kind of like. It's a little bit risky because, like, while this is a combo deck, it's not like a huge, like, it's not like this full bore combo deck like Belcher. So how good is Force of Will? It's kind of hard to say. Ashiok Nightmare Weaver, I don't love here. Nile Spellbomb, Golgari Charm, Disfigure, those are all kind of mess for me. But 4 Force of Wills, 2 Duresses, I do like those as options. Don't know what he wants to sideboard out. But he has to be, I mean, the thing he has to be wary of is, and part of the reason I think he has to board in Force of Will is because if Brainstorm resolves, or if Blood Moon resolves, it's just over. So I think he's going to be grudgingly sideboarding in Force of Will.
On the other side of the table, Tran, his sideboard is 3 Flusterstorm, 3 Blood Moon, 3 Spellsky, 3 Torment Script, and then these singletons, Red Elemental Blast, Wormcoil Engine, and Ensnaring Bridge. Now, one of the things that I absolutely like, what did you say that the story was before Kevin Gerhart with his Liliana splits? It was about Blood Moon.
Yeah.
Well, there are 3 Blood Moons here from Tran, none in the main deck, but here he has 3 of them in the board. And you know what? I'm playing against a deck that has Ancestral Visions and could potentially have Force of Will. I do like Red Elemental Blast. I expect that Red Elemental Blast to come right on in. And one of the questions I end up leaving myself, though, is a card like a Singleton Ensnaring Bridge sufficient in this kind of matchup? I think it might be reasonable. You are still dealing with Abrupt Decay to get rid of it at any time.
I think it's okay. I mean, it puts a lot of stress on having Abrupt Decay. Pernicious Deed is a card that could take care of it, but I'm not entirely convinced that Kevin's going to bring that card in. Deed is kind of interesting because, like, if you play Deed preemptively, then the Grindstone plus Painter Servant thing just isn't going to work, because it's like just sitting there saying, okay, you can never go off because I'll just blow up everything in response to your Grindstone activation. So I think he'll probably board Deed in, but again, we're talking about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards that Gerhart can board in. Does he have 8 cards to be able to board out in this matchup? I mean, you like discarding against this deck, so I mean, you like your Hymns, you like your Thought Seizes. He's probably going to board in Duress. You like Liliana, again, being discarded, being able to wait to take care of Painter's Servant. I would like to believe you like Jace.
Yeah, I mean, I even like Disfigure, honestly. I know that you weren't as excited about it, but one of the things, Welder on the table makes discard and counterspells not great, and the deck is a Painter Servant deck, so I mean, Disfigure does a lot of work.
Yeah, that's fair.
Man, I mean, one of the things about this matchup, when you have so many cards that are actually particularly good, there are so many things. He could bring in, as you said, Force of Wills only. He could bring in Force of Will Indeed. There are so many choices, and a lot of it's going to be based on what Kevin Gerhart's experience has been.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he did take care of a Painter Servant deck in the last round, so I mean, it felt like, you know, he's like, I may have gotten lucky in that particular matchup. You're not really sure, but I mean, that game, unless there's a top deck, he's up a game. So, you know, we'll see what happens here. It's a difficult spot for him to be in, because I mean, we're looking at a deck here that is kind of tailor-made to beat his, but it isn't like the mono red version that has Blood Moon and has Magus of the Moon, and we're looking at 4 each of those copies and a bunch of Soul Ring lands to just power those out. That being like Plan 1B, Plan 1A being Painter Servant plus Grindstone. So I think things are going to be difficult for Kevin, but not as difficult as I think he'd expect them to be, because he sees that his opponent has blue mana in the deck.
Right. There's a lot of choices here.
Yeah.
A lot of possible choices. If you're just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan here in the booth with the one and only Cedric Phillips. Nam Tran and Kevin Gerhart both trying to battle in this last round of our 9-round Legacy event today, hoping to be one of the lucky players in the top 8. Lucky and skilled. If you could be lucky or you could be good, which one do you choose, Cedric?
Is that a joke? I'd rather be lucky. Come on.
That's right.
Yeah, lucky all the way.
Nam Tran on the right. He won our first game of this match, if you missed it. An incredible double mull, uses a force of will, completely out of gas, hopes for the top deck of a land to finish the combo, and it comes.
He gets there. He's up 1. You can tell both players really do want to make top 8 here. Get to those elimination rounds where the real things are on the line and potentially get a trophy, qualify for the Invitational, and call themselves Star City Games Legacy Open Champion. We'll see what happens here. Again, Gerhart does have a lot of experience on the Open Series. He does have multiple top 8s, even has 1 or 2 with Shardless Bug, so he's very comfortable playing this deck. And you see him kind of shaking his head a little bit there, saying, you drew a land, come on. I almost got out of that one alive. I was hoping to get out of that one alive. But he wasn't able to do so, at least not yet. But still, a lot of matching up to be played here.
Absolutely. He is 1000% serious.
Yeah, he is.
Wow.
He really is. So, full warning there.
I don't know, I thought I saw him smile.
He smiles sometimes, but still serious. Times 1,000.
Kevin Gerhart giving a good shuffle. Perhaps
didn't
not
work last
happy
time
with the last good shuffle he
didn't
gave
work
it.
last time. I just have the judge do it.
Try it again.
Yeah. I'm not shuffling this thing. Just have the judge do it. And when you're shuffling there and you're just, it's always like, it's ridiculous that it's like a sweat when you're shuffling when the opponent has like the top deck. You're just like, boy, I hope I don't shuffle you to the card that you need. Jeez. Like you have any control over it.
Exactly.
But yeah, when they draw the card they're looking for, it's like, yeah, it's my fault. It's my fault you got there.
Somehow it feels like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense from a logical perspective.
Yep, it makes no sense. But I've been there before.
Oh, man.
So again, just turn it over. Creeping Tar Pit to start here for Gerhart.
Scalding Tarn for Nam Tran. Are we going to see a Hymn to Turok? What are we going to see?
Deathrite? Brainstorm, okay.
Main phase Brainstorm.
One,
Very interesting here since he already has laid a land.
Yeah, he's got a fetch line. He's got a fetch line, a Tar Pit, and a Tropical Island where the draws. He's going to put some cards back here. Doesn't look like his hand's great. He does have a Thoughtseize, though, to kind of clear the way for some stuff. I was a little bit surprised to see him lead off with the land before brainstorming.
Yeah, I mean, you could lay the, or you cast the Brainstorm, hope to get a fetch land, fetch away the 2 cards.
Yeah. 1
will definitely be caught on top. He's putting 2 back, but he's still got to draw a card before he's going to have a chance to get rid of anything.
Yeah, I guess maybe the thought process there is, like, you know, he uses the, he plays the green land to brainstorm because he didn't have a black land for Thoughtseize, but he already had the Thoughtseize. So he starts off, like, he just wants to go that way and, you know, have better information about what to take with Thoughtseize after brainstorming. So I can see some rationale behind the line that Kevin set up here. Not sure if you got a glimpse of his hand. He's got a Tarmogoyf for Jace the Mind Sculptor and a Pernicious Deed hanging out over there. A couple lands on top from Brainstorm. I'm going to see a Brainstorm here from Nam, I think.
We going to hide some stuff? Yep. Draw 3, put 2 back. One of the classic plays with the Brainstorm. Find the goodies and put them on top of your deck, out of reach of any of the discard. There's a lot of goodies in there, too.
Yeah.
We see a Spellskite amongst the many cards that Nam Tran has.
So how to set this back is going to be pretty difficult because brainstorming in response to a discard spell is one of the most difficult things in Magic because now you're playing the game inside the game, as I like to call it, because you're going to purposely show your opponent some cards. You get to decide what cards you show them. You also get to decide what cards you hide. So you can level your opponent, you can hide your relevant spells. There are a lot of things that you can do here, and I expect to see Nam take a little bit of time to resolve this because it's a very, very hard decision to make.
He's got 2 skites in his hand. Spellskite, one of the few ways you can, quote, counter an Abrupt Decay.
Yeah. So Nam is finally happy. All right. Cards up, boys. Spellskite, Red Elemental Blast, Intuition, Brainstorm, Ancient Tomb, Volcanic Island, Scalding Tarn. So really, if you're Kevin, you're thinking to yourself, that's really not that threatening of a hand. I'm pretty happy with this. Now, of course, I wouldn't see a Blood Moon if you had one. You would definitely hide that. But What else could you have hidden right now? Are you hiding a Painter's Servant? Are you hiding a Grindstone? Is there a reason you're showing me Intuition? Is there a reason that you're showing me that Brainstorm? If I'm Kevin in this position, I'm taking Brainstorm.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that Nam has done here with this is by showing Kevin a Spellskite and yet having a Spellskite on the top of his library, he's hoping, I believe, he's hoping Kevin will take the Spellskite, fearing it, and then he'll just replace it with the one that he has on top.
I mean, how much is there to be scared of Spellskite right now? Though I guess, yeah, if he has an Abrupt Decay, you know, it's enticing to just want to take that Spellskite, then another one comes off the top and you look kind of foolish. But that Brainstorm, I think, represents the most troublesome things. I guess the thought process, too, could be, you know, he can just play that Ancient Tomb and Intuition next turn, and that's kind of scary. Difficult decision for Gerhart, because you have to understand, too, this Thoughtseize, excuse me, lays back everything. It lays out everything for the course of this game.
And there it goes, Red Elemental Blast, tossed away.
Red Blast is surprising.
There's the extra Spellskite. Remember, fetch land in hand. He can always do a Braincestral Recall, or as you call it, the perfect Brainstorm. He still has both parts of that available.
A little surprised to see Red Blast be the card that Gerhart takes. I guess, you know, the thought process here is, okay, I have a Pernicious Deed in my hand. I also have a Jace the Mind Sculptor in my hand. If my opponent plays a Painter's Servant, here's a Spellskite that's going to play for Tran. He's going to take 2 to do that. If my opponent plays a Painter's Servant, he's going to make everything blue, so my Pernicious Deed can get blown up by the blast. And the Pernicious Deed is so important to me, as here is the fetch land, Misty Rainforest off the top, going to shuffle away the other land that Gerhart put back, that I would prefer it if you didn't have that happen. And now it makes it so, again, you have to find another answer for my Pernicious Deed that's going to stand tall on the table. I believe that's the thought process here from Gerhart. Now we'll see if it pans out correctly. That's the big thing.
Shardless Bug, a deck that, for the most part, debuted on the SCG circuit with Jerry Thompson, and I want to say Brad Nelson, both playing it at Columbus, and I'm not sure if Todd Anderson was also playing it at that event at the SCG Columbus last year.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly who debuted this bad boy. I mean, Jerry is the person who's most notable for it and has had a lot of influence on this deck, and it has picked up and done very well since then.
Pernicious Deed joins the party. We see the Scalding Tarn that we knew about from before, and it's a pass.
Going to pass the turn back. Does have the ability to set up a very nice Brainstorm. Does Tran on Gerhart's end step or on his own turn. Gerhart draws his card for the turn. Big question here is, okay, do I want to tap out for a Jace? Is that something that I can afford to do? Here's a Tarmogoyf. That's going to give Gerhart a clock. We'll see how big it is. You've got an instant. Brainstorm's an instant. Sorcery with Thoughtseize lands. We're looking at a 3/4 that can't get through a Spellskite right now.
It won't take too much effort for that Spellskite to be too small to handle a Tarmogoyf.
Yeah. There's your 0-4 from New Phyrexia, making things a little bit difficult here on Gerhart. He's going to play a Wasteland, take care of that Ancient Tomb. That's not a bad play.
While the Pernicious Deed is out, Nam Tran cannot win the game, presuming that there's some mana open. That's one of the awesome things about Pernicious Deed. A lot of decks simply cannot win in the face of it.
Here's a Brainstorm. I'm going to set up a nice one here for Tran. He's going to draw 1 card, Scalding Tarn. 2nd card, Red Elemental Blast. 3rd card, that is a Spellskite. How many Spellskites does he have access to after sideboard? 3?
3. That's all 3 of them.
All 3 in, okay.
Looks like he's going to bury 2 of them. He's got that Scalding Tarn.
You're going to sacrifice this. Probably get a Red, maybe get a Volcanic. Volcanic may be a little bit safer now because Wasteland's already gone. Doesn't mean that Gerhart doesn't have more of them, but might be a little bit safer at this point. Saw him go by a mountain. Going to consult his hand before pulling a land out. Does have Volcanic in his hand right now, too. Going to get a basic island. Decisions for these players. Always fun to be playing for top 8 of a tournament, no matter what size tournament.
Oh yeah.
You know, if it's, I mean, it's one of the best feelings in the world playing for top 8 of a Pro Tour, or even top 8 of a Grand Prix. But even playing for top 8 one of these, it's always fun to have that pressure.
I mean, I feel like the times where I've been in that situation has been awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it's been awesome. And
Drew spell Skype.
You know, I guess it's his best friend right now. He's like, I really like you.
Should have shuffled better, Nam.
Oh, boy.
Is he going to get another one out there?
Well, I mean, he does have Transmute Artifact in his deck.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I don't know that I like putting a second Spellskite out, but...
In the face of the deed, it's a little bit risky. Tarmogoyf, 3/4.
Big are you? Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I like blocking here at all.
Yeah, I don't like blocking either because an Abrupt Decay makes things awful for you.
Yeah.
Abrupt Decay takes out one Spellskite, grows the Tarmogoyf because there's an artifact and a creature in the graveyard. Mind Sculptor going to come into play here for Gerhart. And again, if you guys are wondering about the Tarmogoyf on the screen, it is a 3/4.
Yeah, one of the things that happened in my initial testing with Jace the Mind Sculptor and Pernicious Deed, first time that we activated that deed, we thought the Jace would go away, but no, Pernicious Deed is old. It doesn't even know about Planeswalkers.
Yeah.
If it blow it up for whatever number you want, any Planeswalker in play is going to stay there.
Yeah, things work favorably for you there. And you saw, again, that Gerhart took that Red Elemental Blast with his Thoughtseize a couple turns ago, so that he would be able to force through Jace the Mind Sculptor turns down the road. But we know that Nam drew a Red Elemental Blast a turn or two ago. So you see the Red Elemental Blast in his hand, and yeah, this one's worth countering. So
no
bye-bye, Jace.
Jace. That looks like a really beautiful beta.
Now here's a big question. Because Tarmogoyf's going to tick up to a 4/5 now, there's a Planeswalker in the graveyard. Should he have cast the Jace pre-combat?
That's a good question. Well, I mean, he did want to maybe bait Nam into making the terrible block. I think that's what happened there.
Yeah. So there that is. 4/5 Tarmogoyf, Golgari Charm in Gerhart's hand. Part of the reason he boards that in, the mode where it can destroy an enchantment. You really want to take care of Blood Moon.
Wormcoil Engine in Namtran's hand along with an Ancient Tomb.
Gross. It's going to be hard to beat if it gets into play.
Oh, look at that Wasteland.
Aggressive. I like it.
Oh, very aggressive. Here they come. 4/5 and a unblockable 3 for 7 damage.
I love the aggression. Is it time to block one of those Spellskites? Gerhart's just trying to cut the turns down on this game. I really, really like it.
Nam considering a chump block. He is pretty serious about this choice, though.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really I like when players make a play like this because it makes it so that the opponent has to make a pretty serious decision because it doesn't look like Nam was expecting to be attacked like this. And so he's like, wow, I did not expect this to happen. I would go down to 5, would make it so my Spellskite activations are maybe a little bit worse. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I do have the blue mana to use it, but I might have some interest in tapping out. So, I don't know. I'm going to block for now, go down to 9. I'm on a 3-turn clock from that Creeping Tar Pit. I think we're going to see Intuition cast here. And Intuition is actually quite good this turn, Adrian, because what he can do is he can Intuition for a double land.
He does have an Ancient Tomb in his hand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he can, there's lots of things he can go for at this point.
Looks like he's going to go for the Servant?
Grim Monolith he's brought to the fore. Grim Monolith. Grim Monolith. Grim Monolith.
That's a conscious decision right there.
It's perhaps I missaw. Maybe there was not an Ancient Tomb in his hand.
So if he plays Grim Monolith next turn, he taps 2 mana. His Grim Monolith, that gives him 3,
any
4,
land?
5. Yeah, so any land gets him there. But if he needs a land, he could have just gotten double land, assuming that he has enough in his deck to search for.
City of Traders times 0. Oh, 1 times 1. Ancient Tomb. His handwriting's quite bad. I can't tell if that's a 2 or a 3.
It's a 3. He's got 3 of those. Intuition the draw for the turn. He has City of Traders in his hand, so he can just cast Wormcoil Engine this turn if he wants to. There's a city.
Oh, I think he's going to do the Grim Monolith, yep, and then be able to cast it and have blue open so he doesn't have to pay life.
Oh, okay.
Now the Spellskite can be activated without any payment of life.
Okay.
And also that chump earlier kept his life total for more possible life payments from the Spellskite.
So Wormcoil Engine is in play here.
That guy is so good.
Draw a card.
If Trading Post, if Wormcoil was around in Standard, Trading Post would be seeing a lot of play, I think.
Sacrifice Polluted Deltas. Now we might have to get a little bit, creative here if you're Gerhart. Now, plays that are available to him is he can go attack with, make a Creeping Tar Pit, attack you, put you to 6, block, have my Tarmogoyf block your Wormcoil Engine before damage, sacrifice Deed for 2, kill the Tarmogoyf, kill the Grim Monolith, kill the Spellskite, you don't gain life, attack you with Creeping Tar Pit the next turn, put you down to 3, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. That looks like what he might do, though. This is getting interesting.
3 unblockable.
Pass.
Here you go. That play is on the table, so both of them can see the possibility of it.
Tarmogoyf sitting at a 5/6. Painter Servant and Intuition in Nam Tran's hand. I wonder what Gerhart's going to do this turn.
If you're Nam, I think you have to attack with that Wormcoil Engine to start.
I think that's a pretty good place to start, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's got the play in mind. Oh,
no blowing of the deed. Lets you gain life.
That surprises me.
We know he has Golgari. Oh, I know what he's doing. I figured it out. So he's going to make everything blue. So what he's going to do here is he's going to cast Golgari Charm for -1/-1. He's got to hope that this resolves. How many Red Blasts have been used this game? 2? And how many blasts is there in his deck? He's got 2 in his main deck, and he doesn't have Pyroblast.
Yep.
So I don't think he can search for a counterspell. -1/-1. Yep, so that's going to come in. Everything is black right now, not blue.
Interesting.
Blow up everything for 2. Intuition is going to be no good here. That Golgari Charm ends up being huge here. Clear your entire board. We knew Deed was going to be good in this matchup anyway.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to fire at my Tar Pit, put you back down to 9. We're back to basically square one, and they're going to play another Tar Pit.
Ouch.
Whew. All right, so he found a way around Wormcoil Engine at Gerhart.
Look at this clear table. There's still a card in hand for Gerhart, and we're going to see Nam Tran fire off an Intuition. What's he going to get? He's already got 3 Grim Monoliths gone.
All right, so now things get scary because he could just go, all right, get triple Grindstone, hope that I peel Painter Servant, kill ya. Take a look at his graveyard. Yeah, this is a decision.
There's a lot going on here.
Blood Moon.
Ooh, Blood Moon.
Ooh, jeez.
That is sick.
Jeez.
That
Blood Moon
is sick.
right now.
Oh, okay. You know, we were thinking about going for the win, like, we'll kill you. How about go for the you don't get to play Magic?
Yep.
Oh, boy. Yeah. You are not going to get to play Magic,
wow,
Kevin Gerhart.
That's gross.
Unless those are 2 cards in Kevin's hand and one of them's a Force of Will and the other one a blue card, then that's it.
It's a singleton. You're gonna draw a card, get a slam, a Drew Grindstone, get a slam Blood Moon.
How's that one feel?
Yep,
Feel
slam.
good? Boom.
Yeah, that's it. That is it. Nam
Man.
Tran does win this match 2-0 over Kevin Gerhart. Painted Stone moving on to the top 8. Charlotte's Bug is out of it. Now, if Gerhart doesn't attack with the Creeping Tar Pit, that means he has mana available for the Abrupt Decay that for a Blood Moon that could be